Oh my goodness!
With the fucking sick.
Holy shit!
I remember the first time I heard this tune. Like, this is actually a tune that Aaron applied to a lot of. Yes, thank you, audience, thank you. This is a tune that Aaron applied to a lot of the scenes that are kind of like the crew is having fun. You know, like they find their Hummer, and then they have it. Spoiler alert! They fix the Hummer up so that they can actually drive it on the moon.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the music that's playing during those times, and it's just absolutely perfect. And it really
awesome.
puts me in mind of Firefly. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Why? What's wrong with Firefly? Come on,
I think it was
audience.
more of like a sentimental awe. It's like,
the
Firefly
kill. Yeah, all right. So yeah, we get him. Sorry, audience. I didn't mean to misunderstand you. Thank you for coming, by the way. And Camaro, we have Camaro 76. We have Daniel Cook. We have Sean. I don't know if I've Sean Kaiser.
We have that other Gary.
Other Gary Simmons. Indeed.
Gary.
Thank you, sir, for coming to hang with us. Yeah. So today's another Soundbooth Theater Live. The first Soundbooth Theater Live. I mean, unless you count the party, the first Soundbooth Theater Live since we launched our platform.
Yeah.
Man, what a ride that has been, and people are buying books from us. Thank you so much.
Yay.
For going to a new market and picking up audiobooks from a new source, from us directly. It's really exciting for us, and it's not just exciting for us and our authors and our listeners, but it's kind of like I'm getting the feeling like other people in the market right now are watching us and watching for us to either like face plant or actually take off and make something good out of this. And if we are successful, it could mean something really big for not just us but the rest of the industry. It
With
can
the way
show
certain things are going, it shows you can
absolutely.
succeed outside of certain other places.
Right, exactly. So, thank you everybody who's already bought books from us from the Soundbooth Theater Market. You guys are awesome. You are mega fans. I love you so much. I hope that some of you picked up Deep Madness. We've given away now. And I'm sorry if this makes you a little bit jealous. We this is kind of part of the deal for getting this job, but we gave away like almost 2,000 copies of Deep Madness to all the people who backed the Deep Madness board game. So there's a lot of people with us in their ears that never have heard of us before, and I'm really excited to hear more from those people about how Deep Madness turned out, because that production just gives me chills just thinking about it. Yeah,
triumph.
But onwards, right, Jeff? Yes, we are hosts. Mr. Gary
yeah.
Furlong is a co-host today. He has been promoted to co-host. He's no longer just the Gary's Games guy, as you all know him. He is now a SBT official.
I'm a co-host.
Woo
woo! Yeah,
like a cajon. Just maybe
one cajon.
It sounds more versatile than a cajon, honestly, which is saying something. Which is really saying something. So today, who we have in the green room right now, waiting for us to stop pontificating.
Y'all don't even know. Do they know?
Mr. Ray Johnson.
Mr. Ray
Johnson has, I believe, I'm not sure, but I think he's going to be giving us a little bit of a review of something, and then right after that, Anneliese, Rennie, and Steve Campbell are going to be our guests, and we're going to be narrating some of Ray Johnson's newest first full-length novel on Kindle, not The Nightmare Game System. Indeed.
Wow.
So this is going to be an exciting one. And after they're done, we're going to play an interview that I got up at the ass crack of dawn this morning for. I interviewed Mr. Shemer Kuznits of Life Reset and Earth Force fame. Yes. Good go. Thank you, audience. You're so enthusiastic today. So, by the way, guys, make sure to check out the Earth Force audio deep dive on our website. That's what the music was playing from earlier.
Do it.
And you'll be hearing Shemer talk about it a little bit more today. But I think that's about as much as we have for news. Wait, something's Heroic Villain 3. Sorry, one more news thing. Heroic Villain 3.
I knew that. Totally knew that.
I think it's already been submitted to ACX, so it's going to be on the market on Audible any day now. So any of you bacon and beer fans, make sure to keep an eye out. We will be announcing when that happens. Oh,
Sin says we're working on edits for Life Reset 6. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So Life Reset 6 is on the way as well, guys. Yes.
Amazing.
Indeed. So the audio versions of Life Reset 5 and Everybody Loves Large Chests 5 are coming either at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. Just keep an eye out, guys. We have so much stuff coming to you. All right. Let's bring in the Mr. Ray Johnson. Bring him in!
Ray Johnson!
Oh my God, Ray. It's so good to see you, man. How you feeling?
It's good to be here. I didn't get to say hi to Gary earlier, so Gary, hello. And
hello.
Jeff, as always, pleasure to be here. It's great to be able to do this with you guys every so often. I appreciate you being willing to let me come in speak my mind on a book or two, you know.
Well, we appreciate you coming in and bringing all of your fans with you, right? Everyone, I think that's why people are coming to see this episode.
Yeah, my cat watches when I'm here.
Awesome. So what do you have for us today?
I am going to be reviewing A Snake's Life. I just got this book and listened to it, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I think it had a couple issues with it, and I'll go through it. But I think overall, and again, it's weird, and I'll go through it all. So is it okay to start?
Actually, we'll go ahead. Ahmed, go ahead and kick us out, and then we'll come back and make fun of you after you're done.
But please do. Yeah, please. Okay. So today I'm reviewing A Snake's Life by Kenneth Arant, narrated by Travis Baldry, which is a book length of about 8 hours and 9 minutes, if I remember correctly. Now, I'm going to read to you the publisher's summary, and it goes like this. The afterlife isn't always what you think. A loving father of 3 children, Albert lived a life with few regrets. He served his country far from home. He outlived his soulmate. He died alone. However, his assumptions about a peaceful eternity reunited with his love are thrown out the window when a meddling God digs his fingers into Albert's afterlife. The positive, he will have a chance to see his wife again. The negative, he has to survive the dangers of the legendary world tree for the next 300 years. He's been reincarnated into a world full of magical evolutions, monstrous deer, sassy 10-year-old elves, and untold dangers. It won't be easy, but if life has taught Albert anything, it's this. If something is worth having, it's worth fighting for, and he intends to fight. So Snake's Life is a really good book that follows Albert, as you heard, a generally all-around nice guy who kind of misses his wife, and Albert dies. No spoiler. It happens right away at the beginning of the book, and he learns that as he's about to move on into the afterlife, he will not be reunited with his wife because she's been taken to another world. Her spirit is being ready to be prepared to become physically a hero in another world. And so it would be a long time before he gets to see her once more in the afterlife. And rather than just kind of saying, okay, I can wait, it's eternity after all, I guess he has a little bug up his butt, and he decides to go ahead and talk the God that he's talking to into letting him be reborn in the same world with her. Although there's caveats. He can't become a hero like she is. There's only one hero allowed at a time. So he has to become something different, which means he's got to become a monster. And unfortunately, in that world, monsters don't go to the afterlife after they die. So all he can do is get a chance to go and hang out with his wife and help her become the best she can be and help her survive for as long as she can. So Albert finds himself reincarnated as a boa, a simple snake that progressively evolves into a more powerful iteration of reptilian monsters as he grows. Now, the book is basically his quest to eat. He's a gluttonous serpent. So all he wants to do is fill his belly. And I get that. You know, I mean, I like filling my belly. And if I could eat things to make myself stronger and more powerful, I would be like the Incredible Hulk right now, green and everything. Because I love, like, if it was like go out and eat 10 hamburgers, man, I would have that power in about 10 minutes. So he ends up having to eat certain things to achieve certain goals, to become this or that, and he has different options. Do you want to become a rock boa, or do you want to become, a earth boa, or do you want to become a water boa, or do you want to become this or that? So as he goes through, do you become the fire, this or that? Each choice he makes gives him different opportunities later on, and it cuts off other things. And basically, the whole book is essentially about him attempting to become stronger via evolutions. And there's just points where it kind of has him doing this, and this really fast, getting his evolutions. And then it kind of stalls out as he does things with different characters throughout the book. Basically, he meets, a few people, very few people, a handful of druids that he befriends along the way. And he somehow manages to step on the toe of a few gods, even though he doesn't have any feet. So all he does is just want to become more powerful so he can help his wife when she does come along. Now, sorry, I'm having a little bit of issue here. I'm talking too fast. There were really only 2 small issues that I had with the book. First, Albert generally has a perspective of a man who's very comfortable being in a snake's body. In other words, it's less of a monstrous POV point of view than that of an old man that just kind of happens to be a snake. I would have liked to have seen him kind of arguing with himself as to why do I feel like this? Why should I want to strike? Why would I want to do this? Because he's pretty easily, he's like, okay, I just want to eat these guys. It's okay because they're meat, and that's what I do. I eat things. I would like to have seen him struggle a little bit more ethically about what he does sometimes. Also, kind of have conflict. Like my human brain says this, but my lizard brain, which has got more oomph because I'm in a snake now, kind of wants me to go this route. I would like to have seen a kind of a bit of a struggle, some sort of dichotomy, do I do this or that? And that didn't really happen. It was just kind of like this old guy who's like really cool with being a snake, which is fine. But, it would have added a little bit more drama to the story. The other thing is I really would have liked to have seen him panic a little bit, at least when he started off, having no arms or legs and having to crawl on his belly, basically learning to be a snake. And I think like the only thing that really kind of came out was like he kind of inchworms. He learns to inchworm himself to move for a while rather than just slithering. He kind of crunches himself up and goes and crunches himself up and goes. And that was pretty much the only struggle he ever had becoming a snake. Beyond that, and really the big thing is he really doesn't have any challenges that he has to face. I mean, yeah, he's got big monsters that he fights, but really, it's not that he readily defeats everything, but I really didn't ever seem to have a sense of he's going to fall or fail or this is going to happen not so well for him. He kind of goes through and defeats whatever he encounters as the game goes on, as the book goes on, I should say, readily. I mean, he kind of outwits his foes, which is fine. If you're looking for OP, then this is the perfect thing. But I would have liked to have seen him struggle a little bit more. There's points where he gets hurt, but he's kind of like, ow, that was a bad thing. I'll have a scar. So I would have liked to have seen him get really hurt a couple times and get really almost wiped out and feel it, because even if it did happen, I never really felt any kind of attention towards that. He's kind of like, I'll just push on through and win. And he does that. And he's really good at fighting. And I give him a lot of credit because he does adjust to that role very easily. So again, I don't want to say he's overpowered, but it kind of comes across that way in some aspects. Other than that, I mean, the story is really good. The characters, from the 10-year-old elf to the grandma elf to the druid that's married to the warg and has kids, they're all very believable, very well crafted. They're three-dimensional. They're very enjoyable to listen to, which is where I'm going to go into next is Travis Baldry. No, wait, didn't I just review Travis Baldry the last time I did this, I think, with First Blood? So I'm going to have to make sure I don't do him, next time around. I'll do a different narrator. I'm trying to get SBT stuff in here, but I haven't gotten the platform yet. So I'll get to that as soon as I can. Now, Travis is a great narrator who continues a really high level of excellence. I found that his female voices have really improved over time. I mean, I can remember listening to him before, and this last time I listened, his female voices were really powerful. I won't say they're as good as Jeff's, but they're spot on. And I do want to just once more say, if you really want to read a good Travis Baldry story, pick up Dog Walker. I can't talk enough about that book. So anyway, his female voice has improved. And I could tell, like, for example, the young and enthusiastic druid from the tired of sex mother who's married to the warg quite easily. They're very distinctive voices, and you definitely feel either the exuberance or the exhaustion of one and the other and anyone in between, whatever they're doing. Even the serpent, there's a Leviathan that tries to kill him. Her voice is still female. It's feminine, but it's very powerful. So I give him a lot of credit. I mean, he really did a great job here, especially in portraying the different characters. So overall, A Snake's Life was short. It's only a few hours long in comparison to most things, but it's an exciting listen that I will happily continue. I've already bought the next book. I do want to see how things work out for Torga, which is Albert's name as a snake, and his yet to be born bride. My final score is 8 stars. It left me wanting more, but I didn't feel the struggle that I think I should have gotten, and as I wanted, as Torga fought bigger and badder foes. So I think 8 stars is really appropriate because it kind of says I'm good, but I have things I could work on to get even better. And that's great because I like a really good, strong first impression. He did it to me, but I would like to see more from Morant in the future. So 8 stars.
Good.
Awesome.
Work. 8 stars. Yeah, Travis Baldry, I've been kind of peripherally keeping an eye on him, and he keeps getting better.
He's an excellent narrator.
He's one of the guys that started his own label.
Yeah,
as
he's on
well,
Discord.
right? He's got his own imprint.
Mhm.
What is it called? Someone help me out here. Anyone?
Is it an audiobook one or is it his video game company?
Yeah, I think it's his audiobook one. Does he have an audiobook imprint?
I know this was a Shadow Alley book. So
that one's Shadow Alley. Okay.
Yeah.
He runs Double Damage Games, isn't he? Isn't that right? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cryptid Audio. Cryptid Audio. Yes. So I hope that maybe we can pave a little bit of a way, and he can start his own thing, and maybe we'll be competing and increasing demand for each other and doing a lot of stuff, man. I mean, like that'd be amazing, man. I want to see more companies doing this stuff. Speaking of, we have Miss Anneliese Rennie waiting in the room. Let's bring her in. Let's bring Mr. Steve Campbell in. All right, what's up, guys? Now, speaking of competitors, we have Anneliese Rennie here. She runs her own audiobook production company called Spectrum, right?
I do, yes. Right. So thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course. We're all friends here. So, Ray, tell us about your new book.
It is a homage, if you will. I don't like to say the word homage. So it's an homage to all of my favorite horror movies that I've grown up watching or even reading books, that sort of thing. I didn't get to throw everything in, but I tried as best I could, especially in the beginning scenes where the character mutilation chapter, rather than character creation, it's the character mutilation. I tried to put in as much as I could to show my love of horror. At the same time, I want to say this is a horror novel, but it's just as much lit RPG. So if you get past the initial scary stuff after the character mutilation thing, it really feels more like a lit RPG novel set with, rather than dwarves and kobolds, werewolves and zombies. That's it. So that's the big difference between it. But it really it has a lot of things in it that I wanted to say. I love this stuff. This is what I want to say. Should be done and how it should be done and what I want to read. And it's basically about a guy who gets stuck into the game. It's trapped in the game novel without really being trapped in the game. So he gets stuck in the game, and the goal is he's trapped by the mafia, the Chechenian mafia, and they try to break him in the game so that he will talk and tell them where he has taken and placed their money, because he's stolen money from them, like about $500,000 worth of cash US. And what they do is they put you into the game, and they can either get information or they can tell you wipe out your personality and rewrite you so that you will do what they want you to do. So if you work for a bank, they can have you go in and take whatever you want out. So it's a really insidious little thing that they kind of use to help them do what they want to do and get people into power and positions of power. And Ramsden is just a street punk who kind of outwitted them and stole money, but they caught him, and now they're trying to make him talk. And he can't talk, because if he does, then someone who he loves is going to die, basically.
This sounds like so much fun. What is that thing?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. What is the inspiration of that blobby thing? Is that the stuff?
No.
Is that the stuff or the blob?
Well, the one in the back is the blob. Yeah. No.
Okay,
so basically,
I totally thought it was the stuff.
Yeah, no. One of my favorite all-time movies, and I probably watched this movie. I mean, seriously, if I've watched it once, I've watched it 1,000 times. Is John Carpenter's The Thing? Oh, so that is like an assimilator, and they're not the same. I've made sure in the book that it's very different from what that is. They're very similar, but it's an assimilator. So they take over your body and do things. It's kind of a combination of the pod people from Invasion of the Body Snatchers and The Thing in there, but that's what that is a combination. But everything else that's on that cover is in the book.
Oh wow,
nice.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, so and you have hired Spectrum Audio to do the audiobook, is that right?
No, they signed me.
Oh, they signed you. They came after you. All right, I see how this works. Well, you guys Anneliese, tell us a little bit more about Spectrum.
All right. Well, not only are we doing the audio for this, but we also are distributing the print and the ebook. And I just got the paperbacks today, and they look beautiful.
Wow.
And Joshua Mason did an amazing job on the layout. I have to give Josh props. He is the man. Yeah. He's really, really good. And so you
got one of them. You got one of them with you right now?
Shoot. I can go get one if somebody wants to chat for a second. I didn't.
Yeah, go get one.
Steve. Yeah. Okay.
Steve, you tell us a little bit more. Now, Steve, are you going to be the official narrator on this one, and Anneliese is just playing characters?
This has actually been an interesting project because I saw her announcing that they were going to be doing the book through Spectrum and all this stuff like this. And I was like, wait, what? Ray's done a full-length feature book? This is amazing. I must see if I can be involved. So I reached out to Ray and Anneliese, and I was like, how can I be the narrator for this? I want to be the narrator for this. And then I found out, I didn't even know what the book was about. And I was like, Ray's involved, I'm getting involved. And so then Ray was like, Anneliese is covering all of this kind of stuff. And so I talked with Anneliese, and she says, I'm doing the narration for this book. But I think we want to do it as a duet. So we had talked about possibly having that work out. And so now we're doing this as a duet. So I'm doing all the male characters. She's doing the female characters. And then we have someone else doing the narration.
Oh, wow.
The narrative.
So he's going to be narrating.
Right. And if I can jump in for just a second.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say is when I put this on Royal Road back in 2018, the first chapter came out, Anneliese, like right after it came out, she was like, hey, I love this story. I want to do this. Can we do this? And she went back in her booth and she recorded the entire first chapter and was like, this is what we're going to do. We need to do this. And I said, okay, let's give it a little time because I'm working with somebody else right now on another thing. And I want to get that out first. But she was right there immediately. And so right after she did that, I was like, you know what? I've got this character Blair and I love Blair. And I wrote Blair specifically for Anneliese. So when you hear Blair, I've always had Anneliese's voice in my head for that character. So.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
So
thank you so much for that. What's that?
Who is going to be the main narrator on this one?
So we're actually going to kind of mix it up. So we're going to have a narrator. And then Steve is going to do all the male dialogue, and I will do Blair and the other female dialogue. So we're bringing in Tor Tom to do that. He is phenomenal with Russian. Yeah. So I wanted to make
narrating
sure
with a Russian accent.
We haven't gotten to that part of the decision making yet. I think Steve and Tor and I all need to sit down and have a chat. So, we need to do that. We're early in the process.
Right.
But I did like my really fast cardio workout. Ran down 2 flights of stairs to get that's 500 pages, people. 500 pages.
Big thick tome right there.
It is.
You worked hard on this. Oh, jeez. Wait, we can't see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you gotta fight a little bit. Very nice. Nice.
Joshua did a really phenomenal job. Some lovely blood spatters on the back here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Need the blood splatters.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Well, okay, so Spectrum, you guys don't just do the audiobook then. You help out with all like the whole publication
We're
process?
Just starting to go down that road. When I first started, it was going to be all audio, but I have some authors who just say, you know what, I just want to write and I don't want to deal with having to upload to Amazon or deal with Findaway or some of the other, distribution platforms. And so I said, okay, well, yeah, we can do it. So this is something that we're just sort of starting to do.
Wow. Great.
And,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I'm glad that everyone's finding their ways to, provide more services and make this indie market function just a little bit more smoothly. So thanks guys for everything that you're doing. Thanks for asking to come on, because I'm excited to show off Raymond's stuff. I'm excited to have you guys as guests. Are you both going to be playing Gary's games with us tonight?
Oh my
Improv
gosh,
games.
I am new to this, so someone will have to fill me in on.
Gary's games is our improv game. Is our improv.
It's all
game.
improv. The less we know, the better. But I have the game rules written out in front of me, so it's all good fun.
Okay.
He never actually shows the game rules. He claims he has them written them out.
He just makes them up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's get some nightmare game system going on here. So you guys wanted me to narrate. Any preferences on accent, voice? What do you guys want me to do?
Very strong Russian. In Soviet Russia, book narrate you.
Yeah, exactly. I can do that if you want.
You probably shouldn't ruin this book.
I would say dealer's choice on this one. So
dealer's choice. Well, I guess would Raymond be the dealer? I think Ray's the dealer.
Well, it's your show, so
I always defer to the narrator anyway.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try and be as horror-y as I possibly can. Not slutty. Okay. Horror-y. Jeez, you guys are so dirty. All right. All right. Well, here goes.
Long hair. It's got me all confused. I don't know what to do with myself.
All right. So we're starting right after a respawn.
Correct.
Of Ramzan. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do my deep madness narration. I'm having fun with that lately. Ramzan awoke, strapped to a chair in a room similar to where Stanislav had taken him. His abdomen ached and still dripped blood, although he was, for the most part, whole once again. The air was cool and musty, and something moved behind him. Blair stepped into the light and gave him a lopsided smile.
Look at you go, little man. Even now you aren't screaming for me to set you free.
A pack of cigarettes appeared in the being's hand. It put the blue box near its mouth, lit the smoke, and drew it from the pack like a blade from a sheath.
Most people are already begging me to let them go by this point.
Blair mumbled around the butt.
They spill secrets we didn't even ask about. Not you, though. You just endure everything with a dash of stoicism and stupidity.
What is the point of all this?
Ramzan asked.
Honestly, I'm never going to talk. No matter what you do, no matter how long I'm in here, I'll never break.
No matter how long you're in here?
The genderless figure covered its mouth as it giggled like a schoolgirl.
How long do you think you've been in the game so far? Rough estimate is fine. I like it rough. Give me a guess, Hot Nuts.
Ramzan considered everything he'd been through. It had felt like hours, or even days, but it had all happened so fast, one thing right after the other, that it was hard to estimate a solid time frame.
I don't know,
he stated blankly.
My best guess is somewhere in the ballpark of a few hours.
Blair blew smoke from its nose in a long, steady stream, having lit up when Ramzan wasn't looking.
You've been in the tutorial for 5 minutes.
Ramzan's stomach dropped.
You're lying. There's no way that everything I've been through has happened in 5 minutes.
Blair took a long drag off the cigarette and then placed it between the first two fingers of Ramzan's right hand, who stared blankly at the smoldering coffin nail.
I don't smoke.
I don't care if you do or you don't. I'm going to teach you a lesson about time compression. See, this game taps into your dream state. Dreams take seconds to occur, but often feel like they've lasted all night long to those who can remember them.
Blair pointed a finger at Ramzan, and his hands were suddenly free of whatever bindings had held them. His right hand drifted over his left forearm and held the burning ember to his exposed flesh. He tried to stop it, but it felt like he was watching someone else's hand. The pain was intense, like a blowtorch burning into his arm. He writhed and struggled, but he couldn't pull the cigarette away. The burning continued, spreading outward in a spiraling arc that took over his whole arm, going from licking his arm to biting out chunks of his flesh and gnawing on them. The burning continued for days, until he knew that his arm was little more than a red-hot cinder. Arm-shaped ashes that had not yet collapsed to the ground. After an eternity, the pain stopped. He opened his eyes. His arm was unharmed, and the cigarette was gone. Blair sat across from him, in a padded chair of red velvet cloth and gilded wood, reminiscent of a throne. Delicate legs stretched out and crossed at the ankles.
That all took place in about the span of 1 second of real time. Not that it mattered to you. In here, outside time doesn't mean anything at all. The point being that no matter how tough you think you are, you will crack. Everyone does eventually. You are, after all, only human.
How?
Ramsden gasped.
How was that only 1 second of time?
Blair gave him a slanted grin.
I told you the game taps into the part of your brain known as the pons. In a nutshell, you're having a prolonged nightmare. Hence the name of this wonderful place, NGS, the Nightmare Game System. Dreams don't flow in the same time frame as conscious reality. So our players get to enjoy getting the shit scared out of them for much longer than gamers in other MMORPGs. And you?
The sexually ambiguous being poked a finger at Ramsden's chest.
Get to reap the benefits of all the extra time, you lucky dog.
Then, through no conscious action of his own, Ramsden suddenly stood before Blair.
That was the end of the tutorial,
Blair said so icily that it practically froze Ramsden's blood.
I have assigned you a class and some skills based on your performance so far.
The fey-like creature paused.
You know, you really should have fought back. Fortunately for you, we don't have a pussy class.
Blair waited for Ramsden to say something in his defense, but he only stared at his guide with dead eyes.
I am the game's AI, and will always be watching you. I'll assign you various skills and abilities based on your gameplay. Don't worry, you'll figure them out. The point of the game, from your perspective, is to stay alive as long as you can. You're facing an impossible dream, if you think you can do it.
Do what?
Stay alive.
Blair said plainly before continuing on with the "Welcome to the game" speech.
You will be inserted into various nightmare scenarios, and the only way to escape is to move to the next. In other words, if you find yourself on a boat surrounded by sharks, then you need to make your way to an island where some other horrible thing will be waiting for you. You will be partnered with other players to see who can survive the longest. Survival equals rewards. Death means that you will respawn and start all over again. It will go on like that until you physically die, at which point you become a permanent player, or you tell those nice Chechen people what they want to know. So, you see, you're in control here in a sense. Fight them and die, or tell them and die, your choice. Now, pull up your character sheet, look it over, and when you are ready, open this door.
Ramsden noticed a rusted steel door that had a lever rather than a knob.
How do I pull up my character sheet?
Just think about it, and it will fill your vision. Dismiss it the same way.
Ramsden did as Blair explained, and a black and white page filled his vision. Name, Ramzan Pavlov. 5'11", 175 pounds. Class, victim. Level, 1. Health points, 2,000. Sanity points, 10. Attributes, strength, 5. Agility, 5. Body, 6. Mind, 7. Charm, 4. Luck, 7. Will, 7. Resistance, 7. Abilities, none. Gear, none. Are we going through 26? Sorry.
If you want to do 1,500 words, then yeah.
Okay. He wondered why the abilities section was left blank, and he had no idea if his attributes were out of 10, 20, or even 100. He wasn't a weak man, so he guessed the scores were out of 10. He could account for the low score in charm. He wasn't very good looking. As a child, he'd been in multiple fights and had lost the teeth and repeatedly broken nose to show for it. On top of that, he was unapologetically antisocial. He couldn't stand people and had never cared what they thought of him. He was disappointed that he had no gear, not so much as a pocket knife. That meant that he was going to have to scrounge to find a weapon, and probably food too, if this game had survival elements. Ramzan wasn't a hardcore gamer, but he knew that there were games out there that factored in hunger, thirst, and sleep, in addition to fighting off hordes of zombies or whatever the game was about. Blair had made it clear that this was a survival game and intimated that his goal was not to kill the big bad, but to escape it. But the game was not designed for him to go against the mother of the day and win. He hadn't been able to stop the sharks, and he hadn't been given a chance to free himself from the electric chair.
I'm assuming the attributes define my physical and mental capabilities?
Ramzan studied his character sheet intently, his eyes lingering at the numbers beside his attributes.
Well, look at the big brain on the Ram Man.
The metrosexual cooed.
I bet you like to ram it in.
Blair paused and studied Ramzan's face. Seeing him recoil was apparently enough to satisfy the AI, and the avatar of malice began to clue Ramzan in to how the game worked. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Cool.
right.
Woo!
Fun. All right. So
Sounds like a book.
I hope that has convinced people to scoop up the Kindle version of your book. People here listening, go buy it. Nightmare Game System by Raymond Johnson.
Yes.
And watch out because Anneliese, Steve Campbell, and what was the other narrator's name one more time?
Tor
Tom will be creating the audiobook for you guys, and that should be out 2-3 months.
Yeah. Less than that. Couple months.
Just watch out, guys. Keep an eye on Soundbooth Theater Live's Facebook group. We will announce. Ray, just let me know. We'll get it posted for you. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the Nightmare Game System. So thanks again, guys, for bringing that
Great job. Great job.
All right, so our next thing, Ray and Steve and Anneliese are going to be gone for just a bit. I'm going to be gone for just a bit, and Gary's going to be gone for just a bit. We're going to let my interview of Shemer take over for a little while. I think it's probably like, I don't know, how long was it, Ahmed? Like 15 minutes? Probably 15 minutes. But it's a great interview. I love Shemer. He's one of my favorite people in the world. So 20 minutes. Okay. It's a good interview. And so yeah, you guys have fun with that, and we'll be back. All right. Hi everybody. We'll be back for a request, and then we'll do Gary's games at the end to close the show. All right. Bye. Thanks for continuing to watch with us. We have a special guest here. A very special guest. Our best author, Mr. Shemer Kuznits, author of Life Reset and also author of Earth Force, which is now on our platform. Shemer, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jeff. Thank you for hosting me.
Well, thank you for coming, man, and thank you for well, actually, we're pre-recording this because you are all the way over in Israel.
Yep.
That is your home turf,
And I appreciate you waking up this early to do this interview.
it's totally fine, man. We wanted to get you on here, but you know the time zone makes it impossible for you to actually do this live. But
yeah, I live 8 hours in the future, by the way, for your viewers to know. Yeah.
Well, that's I mean that makes you like especially well geared for sci-fi, right? Like,
yeah. I know what's going to happen.
Right, you know what's going to happen before it does. So yeah, let's talk about Earth Force. By the way, what we just played for everybody was a scene. I can't remember what exact number of the chapter it was, but it's a rousing speech by Nori to get people into gear to fight off the warped that created.
Yeah. So they are in a situation that they have like rudimentary alien tools to fight the monsters, the warped, and the people just too scared to really step up and fight. So she rouses them up with this like inspirational speech and end it with a bang by actually killing one of the warped with a mounted wrist missile. So yeah, and that came out great in the audiobook version. You really did it masterfully.
We had so much fun producing Earth Force. First of all, it's the first one that we've done voices in real time. And what I mean by that is we actually scheduled 2 whole weeks of us as a cast getting together, live streaming, and performing together to do the dialogue. And that was an amazing experience. And I think Earth Force itself lent itself perfectly to it because it is such an ensemble, like buddy type of story. You know, it kind of reminds me of, a lot of sci-fis like Firefly, where you just have this great cast of characters that are tight knit. They have really good chemistry. There's fun back and forth dialogue. The characters are very diverse as far as like who they are, what types of characters there are. We have Nori, the stoic sort of take no shit badass, and then we have Bolko, who's actually more of a hothead. And then we have Lana, right? Lana, who's the egghead and kind of nerdy and nervous, but still finds her courage when it counts. And then Nathan, the brooding, silent type, sitting in the
definitely the silent type.
Now, he didn't have very many lines in this book.
He got like I think 2 sentences the entire book.
But he did get a few grunts and gasps. And so
he did.
I made sure to do those perfectly for the performance. So tell me more about Earth Force. Like where did this idea come from?
I'm more interested in showing like developing a community and building up your strength. And I thought, let's do that with some element of sci-fi. And I thought, hey, we can take a ship, like a shitty basic ship, and a spaceship, and slowly build it up, making something more incredible, and show the process of the people who are actually building it and working on it, as they also struggle against intense opposition. The entire Air Force is bombarded. They have to struggle to survive, and they do that by slowly adapting and building up not only themselves, but their brand new spaceship.
Yeah, so the building aspect is big for the GameLit and Lit RPG communities, the listeners and readers. And I think Earth Force does this well. You take that kind of base building aspect and you apply it to a mobile thing that can travel around, and you can get episodes out of it. So I really dig that format. So what are your influences for this world? I mean, like I think the Aliens and Predator influences are really prominent. But like what else? What other sci-fi stuff inspired this story?
Oh, I think everything I ever watched or read are all like mashed together in my head. I'm a big fan of Stargate, the show, and I took like a lot of nuances from there. The fact that there are many alien species that you can visit and interact with, though that comes more in the second book. We're speaking about the first one, and I don't know. Just everything else that I watched and seen all jumbled together and like created as a new thing inside of this twisted organ.
Yeah. So, what about video games? Or what are your favorite sci-fi video games that you think may have influenced this one?
I can't believe I didn't mention it. Yes, of course. Mass Effect is like my all-time favorite computer game.
Oh,
I
wow.
think I've played it for like hundreds of hours. I've been Mass Effect 3 had a multiplayer. I was ranked number 8 in Israel.
Oh, nice.
That was some fun time. So yeah, a lot of influences from Mass Effect. I mean, their Hummer Jeep, which they converted into a space vehicle, was modeled after the Mako from Mass Effect. Just a lot of the vibe and the alien interaction. It influenced me heavily.
So Earth Force has 2 books in the series now.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the rest of the series?
Well, the second book came into a sort of ending point, a stop to the first arc.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to continue it at one point, but I currently have other projects I'm more interested in pursuing. But let's first see how the audiobook you produce, how people react to it. If it will be embraced warmly, as I hope it will, I might be able to divert more of my energy into the next installment in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, great. You guys hear that? Go pick it up, listen to it, tell Shemer that you want more if you do.
Yeah, that would help.
We spent a lot of time and energy on Earth Force. It was really a project that was, yeah, I feel like this is the project that really gave us momentum as far as production for the rest of the stuff that we released on the platform. So I'm really thankful to you for offering up this piece of content for us to build on. We did there was a lot of sound effects experimentation going on because of the Warped. And can you tell us a little bit more about the Warped and what inspired you to come up to that idea? I mean, like I've seen alien infecting humans type stories before, but this one's unique in that it doesn't seem I mean, on the surface, of course, it seems, menacing and destructive, but at the same time, once they dig into the source and where it comes from in the story, you find out that it's almost like a natural phenomenon, but it's
exactly
technological.
Yeah, and that's how it started. I mean, in the world building part of developing the series, I wanted to have like a baseline that unifies all alien species and technology. I mean, think about it. Theoretically, it's really unlikely for alien intelligent life to be on the same technological level. I mean, in like a drop of time in our entire history, we've evolved from having no electricity to nowadays. I mean, just the tiniest change in fate in how a culture evolved, we mean aliens would be so far away from us technologically wise or back away from us, it would be unlikely to cooperate with them. So I wanted some sort of baseline. So that's where the tech come from. It was actually a legacy from an ancient race that don't want to spoil too much. That helped unify all alien species in the galaxy. So they all come from a similar background. That means that their technology is affected as well. They're able to communicate with each other. They're able to interface technologically with each other. But that also leads side effects. And one of the side effects are integrations gone bad. And that's how the warped come to be. And there are actually failed integration between the alien technology and biological species, which results in like those horrific monsters that devours all life. But they have a purpose, and that is revealed in the second book.
Yeah, that's one thing that I find really interesting and uniquely terrifying about the idea is that there's no sinister motivator. It's just it just kind of happens, or at least so far we haven't found out about a sinister motivator. But it's the technology kind of has a life of its own, and it will do what it does despite whether the biological entity is equipped to handle it or not. So it was really fun trying to figure out a way to represent that, both vocally and with sound effects. So yeah, great enemies to deal with, great mobs, and you know, it also kind of reminded me of Parasite Eve. Did you ever play that game?
Oh, I don't think I did.
Okay. All right, it's yeah. I don't know if anyone else. It's kind of a underground classic JRPG.
All right.
But yeah. So what did you do before you started writing?
I was a software developer. I worked for several companies for like 15 years. And, I like developing, I like writing code. It was a good job, but somewhere along, I was always a bookworm. I always constantly read. And when I discovered the Lit RPG a few years ago, it just completely grabbed me. My entire consumed me. I had to read more, but there were not a lot of good selection out there. So just things evolved naturally, and I started dabbling and writing, and people seemed to enjoy what I came up with. And so it slowly progressed to me devoting more time to writing, and less time to actually pursuing my full-time work, until I finally made a transition at the beginning of this year, and went on concluding fully the writer path.
Right. So can you tell us a little bit more about discovering Lit RPG and GameLit, and how that addiction developed?
So I started by reading Ready Player One, and it completely blew me away. And I just looked for more books like it to read, and then I found The Way of the Shaman, and that led to a few others, and I just devoured them. And it really appeals to me, the way that you can track the main character progress and his quest of becoming stronger. It's not just amorphous, meaning you can actually put a number on how he progresses and evolves and how strong it is. And it's just something that I find incredibly compelling. And there was a series called Dragon Wrath that unfortunately was taken off Amazon. And it has a lot of settlement development element that also really blew my mind. And I never encountered any other series that did it just as well. So I decided to try and write my own.
So I think that the player as a monster aspect of Lit RPG has always been a big draw for people. You know, the idea of and I think that's probably a big draw in video games in general, when you can switch things up. You can play the villain, you can play the monsters.
Yeah.
And I think your book Life Reset is one of the epitomes of the genre. I mean, it could be one of the ones that really kicked off the trend in the genre.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit more about why you chose goblins for Life?
Yeah, when I started out, there was almost no monster protagonist books out there, and every time I picked up a new book, and you go through the character creation phase, and the main character select a human or an elf, which is just a human with a pointy ears. It just galls me. I mean, you have a computer game that lets you be someone completely different, and you choose to play you again. I mean, if you go to looking for escapism, this is not the way. I think the right way is to go completely different, try something completely new. So obviously, I thought to myself, what I can do to make the character go 180, completely different path than normal. And I thought, well, let's play a monster. But I knew I wanted a weak monster. I didn't want him to become like this troll, ogre, or something like uberly powerful and just kick his enemies all the way to the finish of the series. I wanted him to struggle. So I've been thinking I needed a weak type of monster, and of course goblins popped to mind, and I dismissed it at hand. I mean, goblins are overused; they're everywhere. But I actually couldn't come up with a better weak monster to use. And then I started thinking about it. I say, okay, people use it all the time. They show how vulnerable they are, how they're just this XP sacks for adventurers, just fodder. Let's build up on that. And that's what I did.
Yeah, and it turned out to be quite a good decision. I think people really dig it. I personally have so much fun performing, coming up with more and more goblin voices. That's one of the great parts. You get to have this dark fantasy world, but at the same time come up with these ridiculous kind of cartoony, pathetic voices.
And I love your voices, man, and some of them catch me by surprise, because in my head I heard them differently, but after I heard your version, you always know how to express them best. I mean, Gundrock, the cook, the chef, you gave him a French accent. I didn't see it coming, but it just comes together so well. So it was a brilliant move.
Thank you. Yes.
Well done.
A big inspiration for me is Jim Henson. The Muppets. Dark Crystal, Labyrinth. And of course, goblins lend themselves perfectly to that style of voicing, and I'm just able to. It's just like a little puppet playground for me when I get to do all these goblins. So
I also like presenting you with challenges. I mean,
and that's maybe my favorite thing about working with you and working with any author, when they're like, okay, you think you're good, let's try this out, let's see if you can handle this. I love challenges, so thank you again for presenting those opportunities.
Sure.
So we have you have Life Reset 6 coming out very soon, right?
Yeah, should be around January or February of next year.
Okay, great. Yeah. So Life Reset 5 has been doing quite well, right? And we're producing Life Reset 5 now. It's in the sound effects and music stage. It should be ready to hit ACX by second or third week. No, we're already in second week, so third week of November we're planning on shipping that out. I hope people are excited for that. We will keep you guys posted. But
so that's a week away, are you telling me?
A week and a half possibly. From getting it ready to export and have you start listening. So it'll be very soon, guys.
Looking forward to it.
We're really excited about it. Aaron J. Morton is the composer on it. He did the score for Earth Force as well, and he did the score for Life Reset 4. He's been a treasure to work with. So he has a lot less work to do on Life Reset 5 because of how much work he already put into Life Reset 4. We're going to be using a lot of that music. But some surprises happen with some of the characters that that actually had their own themes. So we'll have a little bit of variations on that. And we also have one other song that we need to work out. There's of course a Dan Reel has to have something to do.
Yep. And spoiler, it's another Queen's hit.
Oh yes. Oh wait, Queen?
Queen?
Book is that a Queen song?
Yeah, that's a Queen. Book 4 and 6 both has. Queen.
Book 6. Okay, I'm thinking of book 5. I was on.
No, book 5 no. 4 and 6.
Books. Okay, so more Queen in book 6.
Yeah.
Book 5 is James Brown. Right?
What? No.
Isn't it James Brown?
No. I think. Wow. Maybe it just got mixed up in my head. I don't know.
Maybe you heard a different version that wasn't James Brown.
Could be.
Maybe. But yeah, we have that to work on. That's going to be fun. But yeah, it's coming out soon, guys. All you Life Reset fans, I hope you're salivating and you're properly ready to consume that one. But Life Reset 6 is coming out early next year. And then do you have any plans for any new series?
Yes, I already started developing a new series in a completely new universe. It's a little too early to share, but I'm really excited about writing it. It will be another non-human protagonist. I mean, I'm trying to stay away from them as much as possible. And I have some cool ideas. No, humans sucks now.
Yeah.
Nobody loves humans.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm sure everybody else is too. And yeah, Shemer, again, thanks so much for coming and talking to us. And
sure.
You guys, Earth Force, remember, go to soundbooththeater.com and pick up that new audio deep dive.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me, Jeff.
All right. Wow, I look the same. What happened? I look like.
How did you do it? You look so young.
T-shirt. Did I sound sick? Did I sound like? Did I sound stuffy?
I think so.
Did I come the same here? I don't know. It sounded stuffy to me.
Are you sick?
I'm not sick. I'm not sick. Now, one thing we forgot to do was play a sample clip of Earth Force before that interview. So we're gonna play that now. This is a scene where
they waded back through the maze of.
We'll just let you listen to it.
They waded back through the maze of impromptu huts. 20 guards were waiting for them at the shelter's exit, exchanging nervous glances.
We're going out to hunt us a few wart. I got alien-augmented rifles for the first 3 volunteers. Who's with me?
Count me in. I'm ready to do a little monster dicing.
Anyone else?
The guards looked at each other with uncertainty, then looked away.
Really? No one else?
Volko's voice was full of contempt. No one dared to look him in the eyes.
Then volunteering time is over. Time for the mandatory draft. Who was the racist asshole that fired on our shuttle?
Nori put a hand on his shoulder.
You're going at it the wrong way. They're scared and need reassurance, not more violence.
We can't have people refuse to fight when they are offered a chance.
Volko stared coldly at the fidgeting guards.
In case you haven't noticed, Earth's gone to shit. I refuse to believe only the cowards survived. It was bad enough when they allowed the gangs to push them around, but now they won't fight even when faced with annihilation? Why are we risking our neck for them again?
What do you mean, faced with annihilation?
One of the women stepped forward.
We're safe as long as we stay inside this shelter.
Volko snorted and looked at Diamond. The older man shot him a warning look. Nori moved smoothly to face the other woman.
I'll show you why. Open the gate.
The guards looked at each other, but none of them moved.
Do as she says.
Reluctantly, the guards moved to the gate. They lifted the heavy metal beam and slowly swung the gate open. Nori stepped outside and looked around, searching.
Come out, wherever you are!
As if answering her wishes, a single warp rose between the parked cars and howled to the air.
Warped. Level 3.
The guards behind her stirred in panic.
Close the gate! Hurry before it gets inside!
3 men jumped and started pushing it closed. Volko moved to intercept and easily held it open with one hand.
What are you doing? You'll get us all killed!
Just shut up and watch!
The Warped, a mostly human-looking one that walked on all fours, charged Nori. It jumped from car to car until it reached the last one. Then it leaped, covering the distance between itself and Nori with a single jump. Nori waited until the last possible second. When the monster was almost on top of her, she raised her arm nonchalantly and launched a single dart from her bracer. It caught the Warped midair, and the mutated creature exploded into chunks of meat and metal. She kicked the remains once, extracting its tech. Then she turned around and calmly stepped back through the gate. She looked at the awestruck guards.
Why risk fighting, you ask? I'll tell you why. The Warped aren't the ones who are in control. It's us humans who stand on top of the food chain. And it's time to teach those ugly fuckers that lesson the hard way!
Yeah. Oh man, it's
beautiful.
I love it's getting to the point where I just want to go back and listen to all of our stuff again. You know, like
I came in after this was before me, so I want to go back. I want to listen to all of it.
Yeah, Earth Force was such a delight, man. I'm so happy with it. So anyone, if you felt compelled by that recording, go check it out on soundbooththeater.com. And now we are back for some Gary's Games.
Oh yeah.
I decided to switch it up a little bit because we don't want to have to do a segment and have Ray and Steve and Anneliese have to just sit in the green room while we do that. So we're gonna pick up on the games right now.
Cool. So this is a game called Alphabets. Basically, we can either do it where we'll all take a sentence each, but basically we want the first person will start with the letter A. Their sentence must begin with a word that starts with the letter A. The following sentence must begin with B, C, D, until we get to the end of the alphabet. So we can probably do it like one word story, where we're going to tell a story. Maybe it will go, because on my screen, Jeff is the far left, and then it goes Jeff, me, Ray, Anneliese, Steve. And we can all take a letter each. Yeah, should we just do that?
Yeah.
So are we all clear? It's very simple.
Can I pull up I need to pull up a cheat sheet. I need the alphabet on my screen.
I am so glad you said that first.
I'm Canadian, so I don't know how well this is going to go.
Now Canada has a different alphabet, right? So
yeah.
it's
Are we doing with the Canadian alphabet here? Or
I think we can do the Canadian.
We'll do a modified Canadian alphabet with some Japanese inserts. We all know that, right?
Katakana.
Okay. Katakana, hiragana.
Just so it's easy. All right, calm down.
Here's the example the description gave, attack that hill, but sir, our tent is on fire. Crikey, where's our house? Darn quartermaster's making coffee with it. Hose, he said, hose, not house. But yeah, you get the idea?
Yes, I get the idea.
So it must be a coherent story, but the start of our sentence must be the next letter in the alphabet. Let's give it a try and be whatever character you want. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No, it's completely
very,
different.
Very different.
Completely different alphabet. Okay, it's a lot
Jeff.
like Russian. All right, so what's do we have like a subject? Do we have something?
It will all flow from what you say onwards.
Oh, God help you.
If we want, we can pick characters right now. If there's any particular voice you want to do, just do it and be that character.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to play as. Hold on. Someone requested somebody.
Oh, yeah.
The communist cherub. Yes. There's a communist cherub in Feedback Loop book 5 or 6. I can't remember. And it's one of my favorite scenes I've ever done in any book. It's so hilarious. Harbin Cooper, you almost gave me a heart attack while I was in the narration booth trying to do this thing. Oh my God, that scene was so gut-wrenching hilarious. So the I'll do the communist.
I think I know what that is.
Communist cherub. So,
Must be at A.
all the capitalists need to die.
But some of them we can save.
Capitalism is good, my brothers.
Delays in economics impact capitalism.
Oh no.
Good Lord.
My knowledge of capitalism will run out very soon.
Every chance we get, we have to try a little harder.
Oh man, it's so hard not to start with fuck.
You can.
Fuck it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I lost. I just said fuck it.
Good one, Jeff.
How can you say that?
I didn't hear a thing.
Just so you know, I'm appalled.
Comrade. Please listen. I cheat. It doesn't matter.
You want me to listen? Is that right? JK.
Yes.
L. Listen. You want me to listen? I will not listen.
Many of us don't hear a word you say anyway. Why talk?
Needless exposition, people. This is just needless exposition.
Obviously, we are going around in circles, so we must try again.
More people need to know damage done by capitalism, by not treating comrades like comrades.
What letter are we on right now?
Q.
Q? Oh no. Quietly, comrade. You're bursting my eardrums. Okay.
I can't even do it now. Quietly, cover to press away drums. Run away. Do not listen to anything else they say, or you will lose your mind.
Speedily, I run away.
Trust me, you do not want to run away. What you want to do is come back to safety.
Under my house, I have gulag.
Very nice.
Why would you say such a thing?
Oh no.
Xerox machines attack frequently.
Yes, this is true.
I had something. I just had something. Oh no!
So not just like
zebra. No, it wasn't. It was actually good. Shit.
Zero chance of remembering, Jeff.
Zero chance. God,
zippy now, zippy.
I lose. I'm sorry. I can't do this. Yes, zebra. We'll do that. I cheat. I'm sorry. I can't help cheat. I am communist. So.
Okay. So, do we have? I'm asking Ahmed. Do we have time for another round? Because is it a yes or a no? Should we do another one?
One more?
Okay. Jeff, pick a number between 1 and 20. 16. And say it out loud. 16. Ray, 1 and 20.
8.
Anneliese.
Between 1 and 20?
1 and 20.
19.
19. Steve.
7.
And I'm going to pick 5. The number you said is the amount of words you have to say in your sentence.
No!
Oh my word.
And we're going to reverse the order. Steve, you are starting now with your number that I definitely remember and don't need you to remind me of.
Evil man.
It was 3. I think that's what I had.
Okay, so we'll just just remember your number, and
Yeah,
that's how many
I'm
words
7.
you have to have in your sentence.
I'm gonna have to use my fingers for this. Good lord.
Oh man, I'm just doing it beneath the camera so people can't see.
Okay, so what are we gonna do?
So A.
Do we have? Wait, do we have a?
And we still have to use the alphabet thing.
Yeah, we're going to do the alphabets, and this time we have a number of words we can have in our sentence.
Dude, this is impossible.
That's ridiculous. This is a
Okay,
stupid
so
game. Who came up with this game?
We need a. All right, audience. Feed us a subject or some characters. Anybody here have a request for characters?
What we can do is if we get to Jeff and it's ridiculous and we can't do it, let's just pick the subject and talk about that subject regardless of the alphabets, but with the amount of words in our sentence.
Okay, I think that's a little more fair. I think people
we'll ditch the alphabets,
stare blankly at the screen and go.
I'm gonna do a random scene generator.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
If I can type.
Oren from Life Reset. All right, that's nice and thematic. I'll do that. I'm assuming you mean the Goblin version.
Okay, we're telling a story that starts with us waking up in a strange room. Apparently, I hate this random scene generator. Steve, we'll go with that.
Everyone asked for Boxy. Man.
You want to do Boxy?
Visit to a cannabis farm.
Oh, cool. Okay, let's do that.
That's a suggestion.
Okay,
should we do that?
Visit to a cannabis farm
with limited number of words in our sentences.
Limited number of words, but not worried about the alphabet.
Yeah. Well,
what was your number?
Just
Steve?
to make this a little less convoluted, right?
Yeah.
What was your
Should
number?
we rehash our word? So Steve 7, Anneliese.
My God.
19, I think.
I'm 16. I'm almost as bad.
Just kill me now. Just I'm lost. I really started and I've lost.
and Ray, what was yours again?
8.
You guys.
I picked 5. I think that's
smart. I just want you to know.
You should have said between 10 and 20. That would have been.
Yeah, really.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'll go with
Look,
10.
the rules are rules. We got it. Okay. So Steve, introduce us to a cannabis farm. In 9 words. What was it? I keep forgetting everyone's number.
I think. Who cares? Steve.
7. Maybe he was
7.
He had 7.
I have to mentally. This is not going to work for me. I'm serious. This is painful. After we
talking and start counting.
I don't know how it's going to end.
I'm full on holding my fingers up. I'm counting that way. It's too hard otherwise.
And are we still doing the comrades thing, or is it just
comrades? No. What? No,
I don't know.
Okay. It's whatever you want. Very loose.
I cannot
be communists. I don't care.
Okay.
Unless they started the cannabis farm. I mean,
after we get back, I'm going down. That's 7, right?
Yeah, it is.
You didn't finish your sentence, bruh. Where are we going down to?
I'm going
like hell or something.
Hell? You guys want to go to hell? That's dumb.
I live in hell every single day. Why?
Because you haven't had the opportunity to visit Hell, Michigan, which actually exists, and there is a real weather station there.
Weather station. Sorry. No, you go.
Is it me? Is that
it is. Don't listen to me.
Okay. A weather station? That sounds amazing. I lost it. Again.
Did you pass out, bruh? Come on. I haven't heard you finish a sentence yet. Dude.
Me neither. But hey, we're on a cannabis farm, bros.
Can someone please pass me my freaking joint?
I think that's 8. Is that 8?
I think you got it. Yeah.
Oh, he got. Okay.
Are you sure you want to engage in passing a joint during the coronavirus pandemic?
You got 7 more.
How many more?
7 more words. That was 12.
Come on.
Oh, come on. 3 more. 2 more.
You can hyphenate the word dude if you want.
Dude.
Right.
Done. Mission accomplished. 19 words. Steve.
For this shit, I'll risk it, man.
Yay!
I hope you guys like sativa, because that's all they really have here. So let's bullshit.
I love sativa in my tea. Oh, wait, that's stevia.
No one told me lighting a brownie. Impossible.
It's not impossible. Have you discussed this with the farmers here at the cannabis farm? Has anyone even met them?
You went over by 1, but it's okay.
Well, but hey, I had to finish the damn time.
Last round?
Last round.
I have, and he was a dick.
Dude, chill. This is not the place to talk shit. We're all friends here. Pass it.
Oh no. I dropped it on the floor. Oh fuck.
That wasn't a brownie. It was.
Oh, that was inappropriate, sir.
I can't go anywhere with you guys. You are all vulgar pigs, and this is a fucking mess. Understand?
Got it.
That's a great way to end it.
It's a great way to end it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for playing games with us. This is always the most fun part of the show. Thank you.
We never
Gary.
know, like, because I look it up maybe the day of and then explain it to everyone, like, here. So we never really know what we're doing. So always adds for a fun time.
Yeah. So when you guys come back, be prepared. We're going to be doing a number between 40 and 50 next week. All right, guys. Thanks again for coming on. We're going to boot you off.
Thanks for having me. Get out of here.
Yeah, get off of our show, please. Thank you. All right, well, we're gonna close the show with our request. I love the gimmick that we have where we're just rude about getting people out. I think we could just we should stick to that. I love it. Fuck.
Get out. You hear me?
All right. So the next thing is our request. I forgot to download this thing, so let me go ahead and do that now. But do you have it at the moment, Gary?
I think I do. NG. Oh, maybe I don't have it. Hold on.
Blake Severson. That's kind of a cool cover. I'm kind of digging that. It reminds me. It's kind of like Medieval Team Fortress 2.
You might need to send it to me, Jeff, because I don't know if it's in the chat, and if it is, I can't find it, and I'm scrolling.
Dimensional.
I do apologize.
I think it might actually be in the Discord as well.
I'm looking in the Discord. It's not the NGS final doc for ebook. Not that one.
No. I totally thought it was in here. Oh, I'm looking at Steve Campbell's chat. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, doc for tonight. Or that's a summary. Okay, no, it's my bad. Sorry. Let's see. Dimensional the features, prologue, CM Carney, 8-Bit Bastards. Where is it? I don't know where it is. I thought I had it. Dimension. Maybe it's
I can't believe.
Dimension. All right, let me see if I can use the author's name. Sorry, guys. Author's name is, what is that? Oh yeah, Severson.
Blake Severson. Blake.
No, doesn't look like that's showing up. Uh-oh, guys.
Oh no.
Dravinica?
What are you reading from?
I'm looking through my email.
Oh. All right.
Let's see here.
I'm going to look up a British poem while Jeff looks for that.
Yes, good call. They need some entertainment while I fumble around with my files.
Okay. First one I found is called, oh no. Bloody hell. Pinterest, fuck you. Okay. 'Tis moonlight, summer moonlight, 'tis moonlight, summer moonlight, all soft and still, and what's that? Music. The solemn hour of midnight breathes sweet thoughts everywhere. But most retreats are standing, the breezy boughs on high, or stooping low or lending a shelter from the sky. And there in those wild bowers, a lovely form is laid. Green grass and dew-steeped flowers wave gently round her head. It's probably by Emily Bronte. You ready for another poem? You want to listen to some British literature? Oh yeah! Sweet darkness. I'm tired. The world is also tired. Vision is done. What part of the world can find you? Time to go into the dark, where the night has eyes to recognize its home. There you can be sure you are not beyond love.
Gary, what's your Kindle email?
Jesus fuck, I don't know.
Going to...
Try send it to my one that I usually use, and we'll see what happens. Oh shit! Oh no! What is happening?
All right, guys. We thought we had this. We did not. All right.
I'm just gonna keep reading poems.
Kindle.
Okay.
Sent to Gary at Gary Furlong.
Refreshing. I'm refreshing.
Yeah, tense music for us.
My God. Oh, get my Kindle gift now. Shit, accept gift. Oh my God.
Gifted.
I have accepted the gift. Read now.
All right, that's it. More communists. Sorry, I'm just reading random stuff in the chat.
Where are we then?
All right, so why don't we just? I mean, we don't have any direction. We don't know what the fuck is going on with this thing. We're just gonna start. We can start on a random chapter, or we can start on chapter 1.
I will follow you wherever you go. Let me know. Let me tell me when I go there.
Let's just start on chapter 1.
Got you.
And why don't we randomly cast?
Okay.
On the way. So I'll start off narrating.
Okay.
You take the first character.
Gotcha.
I'll take the second character.
Okay.
And then we'll just keep going exactly like that.
Got you.
All right. Arthur yawned as he leaned back in his office chair. While his job paid well, it sure could be annoying. Engineering had never given him any glory or fame, but he still enjoyed it. Someone had to make sure that the buildings stayed standing.
It wouldn't do to have an eccentric rich guy's mansion collapse because his aesthetic wishes didn't include supporting columns and walls.
I swear that clock is broken and not moving. It's been 4:30 for over an hour.
He sighed.
Hey, James, you have any plans for this evening?
Just sitting at home with the wife and kids. Might try to watch a little TV when the kids go to bed. You have any plans, Arthur?
James asked.
Not really. Do you want to go to the bar and get a drink tonight?
On a weeknight? My wife would kill me.
Am I playing? Is this Gonzo?
I think that's
I think it's Gonzo.
Now that you mention it, I do think that is the voice.
She doesn't want to have to deal with the kids by herself this evening.
Fine. If you don't want to live a little, I can't make you.
Not all of us can live the carefree life of a single man. When are you going to find you a good woman to settle down with?
I've had a few women try, but none of them felt like the right one to keep around.
Well, maybe one day you can find a nice woman and settle down.
Didn't I just say that?
James stated, I'm sure it would thrill your mom and dad to have another woman around the family. When was the last time you talked to Eve and John anyway?
Evelyn and Jonathan Sorensen were not technically his mother and father, biologically at least, but they were in every other sense. He had been with them for as long as he could remember. They had adopted him when he was about 2 years old.
And I was British from the get-go, I tell you. I called them about a few days ago to check in. Mum gets upset if I don't check in at least that often. I'm sure I'll end up talking to her tonight. No. I'm not in the right area of the world.
Arthur's mom and dad lived in Phoenix, Arizona. His mom was a legal assistant at a lawyer's office, and his dad worked as a general contractor. Arthur moved to Austin, Texas 10 years ago, but would still go home and visit on holidays when he wasn't busy with a project. Other than his parents, Arthur didn't have any strong ties to Phoenix. He had one serious relationship that had crashed and burned. When that happened, Arthur moved away and started over. It allowed him to get his degree in engineering in Austin, and then he started working at his current job.
Oh, finally time to wrap it up. I'll see you tomorrow.
Arthur called to him in a weird accent as he saw the time on the clock. Arthur grabbed his sketch pad off the desk and tossed it into his bag. He walked to the parking lot and ran his hand along the fender of his dark blue 1967 Chevrolet Camaro. The white racing stripes on the car really made it pop and drew attention. He had collected it partially restored a few years ago and had put the extra work into finishing it. Having extra money to work on a project like this was one benefit to his bachelor lifestyle. Luckily, the office wasn't in the middle of downtown, so he wasn't forced to slog his way through traffic. Within 20 minutes, he pulled into the driveway of the small house he had to himself. It was considered a small farmhouse that had 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, but the city had grown into this area already. I'm going to skip a little bit because it's just a lot of details about his stuff.
There is some stuff on the next page.
His phone came out, and he swiped his thumb across the screen to wake it up. Scrolling through the options, he selected his mom's number and hit the call button. His mom picked up after only 2 rings.
Is this Arthur? If it is, then you should be the mother.
Okay.
How's my baby doing today?
His mom asked.
Doing fine. Nothing new going on in my day today. How are you and Dad doing?
Just working as usual. I have a big case I'm assisting with at the firm. Your dad is working on that house for the Baker family still. They were able to get the roof completed today, so progress is coming along ahead of schedule.
Well, that's good news. Is the old man taking care of himself? I know you told him to try and let some of the workers take on more of the load, but I know he never listens.
Arthur said with concern. I'm gonna make the mom Dracula. How's that?
Yes.
Your hard-headed father never listens. Work will be the death of him one day. I did hear one other tidbit of information today, though. Johan is getting married.
She said cautiously. Let's just skip the narration and just
Just go to dialogue.
I think it's me next.
Yeah.
That's fantastic news. I'm happy she found someone.
Any new women in your life I should know about?
No! Mom. You can stop asking me that, though. I don't go out that often. Work has been busy lately. I might decide to look for a woman when work slows down again, but it isn't a priority. I'm fine by myself.
I know. I just don't like you being alone out there.
I'll be perfectly fine! I haven't had a girlfriend for years, and it hasn't bothered me.
That's so good. Well, I love you. And I hope you can come and visit us before too long.
Shit, I'm on the wrong page. I'll see what I can arrange. Love you guys. Tell Dad I said hi.
Will do.
Oh man. Okay. I think that's a nice wrap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry guys that we fumbled that one, but we I think we made it entertaining anyway. Thank you everybody for coming to hang out.
Thank you.
And watch the show. We will have our request more straightened out next 2 weeks from now.
Oh, let's just do that
hopefully-
again.
Yeah, we'll just do that book again and just keep Dracula with this weird English snob guy who's always offended at everything.
For no reason. You're just
He's
mad all the time.
Mad and indignant that you're even
My fucking mother is Dracula.
So yes, guys. Until next time, 2 weeks from now. No, wait, no. Our next SBTL is next week. We're doing back-to-back weeks. And we're gonna have Bram Stoker on.
Does that name sound
interviewing? Yes, we're gonna be interviewing Bram Stoker next week. Please don't miss this. All right. Anyway, love
Thanks
you
for
guys
coming.
so much. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the likes.